Dog. I'm the Storm Tracker Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Partly to mostly sunny skies, a daytime high near 88. Overnight low of 58 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Sunshine and clouds mixing for your Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Them and I love them, cause to me they're all the same. I hug them and I squeeze them, they don't even know my name. They call me the Wanderer, yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around. Oh, well, there's Flo on my left arm and there's Mary on my right. And Janie is the girl, well, that I'll be with tonight. And when she asks me which one I love the best, I tear open my shirt and I show a rosy on my chest, cause I'm a wanderer, yeah, a wanderer. I roam around.
I think that's why I'm crazy, because my head's always going around and around and around and around. Hey, happy Friday. Happy to be here. And I'll be out of here by 2:01 to enjoy a weekend. By the way, for you baseball fans out there, since the Pirates aren't playing, the Wild Things are playing their last exhibition game tomorrow night at 7:05. It's the last game. It's free admission. It's the Lake Erie Crushers, and I would call about tickets. I think they're only allowed to sell about 950 tickets. They're close to that right now. I would hate to see you make a trip there with the family. You know, free admission, food's pretty cheap, and there's no tickets available. So give them a call, okay? Just a word of advice, make sure. Don't want you to travel 30 or 40 miles and can't see a free baseball game. And it's pretty good competition, Lake Erie. They have a good team this year. All right, we'll talk about the Penguins. Boy, I'll tell you what, you talk about the fights. The Pirates coming back. I mean, a lot of good stuff today, but it's a golf weekend, kind of, you know, round one. The PGA was yesterday. And he might be 3 for 3 in predictions. The legend is on the line. Legend, all you got to do is screw up one more time, and we have Jimmy the Greek ready to replace you. I cloned Jimmy, in case you didn't know that.
Well, Mr. DeFabio, I don't know if you noticed that, if you were watching the telecast yesterday at the PGA, but it almost reminded me of the old show Gilligan's Island. That looks like they were playing on the island there.
Where is it? New York? Where is it?
No, it's in South Carolina.
Okay.
It almost sounds like tequila. Tequila,
okay. Yeah, I can't pronounce it either. Yeah. Now, I'm going to write down your predictions, because you know who I have on Monday, right? He's covered a lot of PGA and Masters. Jerry Dulac. I'm going to compare notes. So,
well, I promise.
By the way, your job is not on the line. You know I'm only joking with you.
He's the master.
Oh, boy. You know, he's golfed everywhere. You know, he's even golfed Pebble Beach. And I think there was a foursome, about 4 foursomes behind him, and I think that foursome was made up with some guy named Eastwood. How about that, huh?
Like yourself, sir, he's a fun guy to wait on.
Yeah, and from what I understand, he's a good tipper. He's a good guy. One of the few in the media I trust. Okay, who's our current leader?
Unfortunately, like I told you, I didn't want to cheat today.
All right.
When I come on this show. But as of this morning, Corey Connors, Canadian, was in the lead. He was -5.
Okay, I got it.
And there's a few guys, I call them condors, you know, the vultures that are have a couple championships under their belt that are lurking around. Like you got Bruce Koepka.
Okay, I like him.
And the young guy, 2 young guys in the field. Victor Hovland and Morikawa.
Okay. Morikawa just won a big tournament, didn't he?
Yeah, Yeah, he is. He's an excellent golfer.
Yeah, I like him. He's a young guy. He's going to be around for a long, long time. And it's very, very good stuff for the Asian athletes and, of course, the countries and all that. But that's a good story. I still see him and, his family crying, and he was jumping for joy. I thought he was going to fall down and break a leg. He was, so happy. I'd be happy, too, if I won a lot of money and got my name and, the jacket and everything. Okay, so here's who I like. I was thinking about this last night. I don't know half of these guys. Okay, Phil Mickelson, I know him. The guy we just mentioned. I'm going with, and you tell me if he has a chance or not, Carlos Ortiz. Maybe he's, related to one of my favorite Red Sox of all time, David Ortiz. That's from my head, not from my heart. So what do you think? Does Carlos have a chance?
Almost sounds like an MMA fighter, but
Okay.
I want to say he was either +5 or +6.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
Who is the guy you think that can sneak up and beat everybody?
There's, as a matter of fact, there's a couple guys there, but there's a lot of guys right now that are in trouble. A lot of big names like Rory McIlroy, but I'm going to give you the guy who I like, who's probably right in the pack of things right now, and that's Brandon Grace.
That's a great name.
That's my sleeper.
Brandon Grace. Has he won anything? I don't know. I'm not going to look him up.
Yeah, he's won a couple tournaments. He's been around the world. So, but Spieth is +1.
Okay.
The big favorite, Dustin Johnson's in a lot of trouble, and Webb Simpson they're really +4 and +5. You got Justin Rose who could sneak up there, and he's even par right now.
Okay, even par. So if Brandon Grace wins, will that be Amazing Grace? Oh, that was awful.
No, there'll be a lot of grace in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the first prize winner? Isn't it about $1 million?
Yeah, it's a pretty comfortable purse.
Yeah. I remember back in the 60s reading about in the old Sporting News, which I always got. I got the Sporting News every week in the mail. And, if the mailman was late or something, I thought maybe my Sporting News was lost. Back then, it was only like 50 cents a copy. But if you get a subscription for a year, it was only like $11. But I remember reading a story about Arnold Palmer, out of Latrobe, PA, winning a major golf tournament, and the first prize was like $60,000, which was a lot of money back then, to win a tournament.
My uncle years ago took me to a U.S. Open. I was 6 years old, and Johnny Miller won.
Wow. Didn't he wear the fancy checkered pants all the time or something?
Yeah, he was a pretty colorful guy.
Yeah. Didn't he win a tournament at Oakmont? I'm trying to.
Yeah, he won the U.S. Open back then. He won a few tournaments.
Now wait a minute. You're 6 years old. You remember meeting Johnny Miller or watching him?
I remember watching him.
Wow. That's pretty cool
yeah,
stuff.
That was.
And your uncle took you, right?
My Uncle Joe, yep.
Yeah, all right. So who are you going with? I'm going to put your reputation on the line.
I'm going with Brandon Grace, and if I'm gonna go for a favorite also, I like Morikawa.
Morikawa. All right, I got $40 in my pocket. I think I do.
Okay.
I'm going to put 20 on Grace and 20 on Morikawa. What's my returns? What would be my returns if one wins? Let's go with Grace.
Morikawa. Grace will probably get you about $200, and Morikawa will probably get you $140.
Okay. All right. Actually, I could put 20 on both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do anything I want. Yeah. All right. I've never bet on a golf tournament. I stick to the basics. Football, NBA. Did you watch the Penguins last night?
What a game.
Weren't you at a bar? Were you working at a bar?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was working last night.
Oh, by the way, we got to meet, and I'll tell the folks here, if they remember Kenny Reggett, who came up with a big win with the Penguins years ago in a playoff game. Kenny has his own sports bar. It's one of the nicest and biggest sports bars I've ever been in. It's located in Bridgeville. And I'll meet you there some Friday night or something. How about that, legend?
All right, that sounds good.
And I'll buy you the first. I'll buy you the first round of Diet Cokes, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And, Kenny Reggett, he'll sit and talk hockey all day long because hockey players are good at that. But last night, I'm thinking back to the glory days of the Bruins I covered in the 70s and those Broad Street bullies that got in fights all the time because they had guys that would smash your face in like David Schultz and that, plus Bobby Clark, who in my opinion is still the dirtiest player I have ever seen. But you know what? He could have played on my team. I remember he got in a fight with Bobby Orr, and he cremated Bobby Orr. You didn't mess with Bobby Clark. If you did, you had Schultze, you had Leach, you had a bunch of guys, Barber. They would just beat up on everybody, and they were hated, and they loved it. But, I watched last night, and I'm thinking, I've never seen anything like this. You talk about MMA, you talk about WWE or whatever, you talk about Rocky films. I mean, there were punches galore. And I knew going into this series, these two teams don't like each other. There's respect if the Penguins play the Capitals, respect if they play the Boston Bruins, but there's no respect with the Islanders. It was just a great third period. I mean, it was unbelievable. Just when you said, wow, there's 4 guys in the penalty box. Then 10 minutes later, there's 2 more guys and with the 4 guys. They ran out of room. They had to go out and get special chairs, I think. It was amazing. It was amazing. Amazing win. Now, if I was betting, should I say it might only go 5 or 6 instead of 7?
Yeah, I gave you before. I like the Penguins at 6, but getting back to what you were saying about the game last night, the last penalty. Boomer Esiason was used to getting chased by the Steelers.
Yeah.
His son-in-law last night created the last penalty for the Penguins to get the game-winning goal.
Who's Boomer's son-in-law that plays hockey?
That's Martin that plays for the Islanders.
He's a dirty guy.
Yeah.
That's Boomer Esiason's what, nephew?
Son-in-law.
Oh, boy.
He married Boomer's daughter.
Wow. I didn't know that. Well, that's what I learned today. Yeah. Boomer, one of the all-time great interviews. And a lot of times I had to edit some of the words said by him. But he always went out of his way. Even when the Steelers would kick the Bengals' ass, I would go to him and, he was talking, hey, it's a game. And he talked about how he threw a couple of interceptions. I think he was twice intercepted by Rod Woodson. But he's good. And I like him on the airwaves, too. And I like his commentaries early in the morning. But I never knew that. I might have to root for Martin tomorrow. Yeah. Who did he go after? He went after somebody. Oh, that little guy that I hope somebody beats his brains in. Getzel. 3 times last night, he took his stick to somebody's back. Hey, if you want to cause a problem, go fisticuffs. Don't hit somebody in the back and hurt him. But he'll get his someday. But did you see the move that Sid Crosby made at the end? He went right down the ice about 200 feet, stuck his stick out. It would have been a goal might have been Martin, because he would have had an open net. He's on his belly, and his stick just pushed the puck away. That was a game saver. He didn't even have to score the game-winning goal. He saved the game. So he's still one of the best. You can have McDavid, you can have Austin, whatever his name is, Powers, I don't know. I'll take Sid. All right? But that third period was unbelievable hockey. And I would go back and forth. The local broadcast, the national broadcast. I kind of like the national better. Then I would go to Bob Airy for the local, and he was just absolutely berserk, I got tired of him saying, great, but it was a great game. And, this is the way hockey was played in the 70s. You must remember the 70s. Even the Penguins had a couple of guys who would tattoo your mom. You know what I mean? Battleship Kelly, for one, would take everybody's head off. Steve Durbano, remember him?
He was a tough guy.
Yeah.
Boy.
You know why we got along? Because there was 3 of us that were promoting hair pieces for Hartford Hair Clinic. I was one, Durbano was one, and Bradshaw was one. You should have seen our before and after pictures. I got an old Pittsburgh Press I'll give you, and you can laugh at me. Before and after. Okay. Steve Durbano, Battleship Kelly, they were bad. The Penguins were bad, but you know what? They got physical. Those were the good old days. You don't see that happening very often, but I'm seeing a lot of it now. And did you see where Tavares got hurt for Toronto? Did you see that video?
I didn't happen to catch it.
Hey, Lola, did you see that video with Tavares getting hurt?
No, it's in my notifications, but I haven't watched.
You haven't eaten yet, have you? He falls on the ice, and a guy comes by and accidentally trips over his head. It's a wonder his skate didn't slice his face to pieces. So he's laying there on his back. I thought he was dead. So did both benches. Matter of fact, you had Montreal guys crying. And, it was a Montreal guy. They showed him, and he kept saying to his teammates, I tried to avoid him. It was real ugly, especially when they put him on the boards and took him off. And he's a great player, but boy, that was real ugly. So I'm watching a lot of hockey, Legend. And, I was up late last night even watching replays. This is the best postseason I've ever seen, and I've been covering this sport since, 72? I really enjoy it, even if I only get 4 or 5 hours sleep, because I got to know a little bit what's going on in the morning. But I'm enjoying it. And, you worked at a bar with how many TV screens?
4 TV screens.
Okay. Did you have hockey specials?
Unfortunately not. We're just the regular, shot in a barrel Boilermaker type.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're a legend. You was featured in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. People ought to be giving you big-time tips. You won't answer that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I will. Well, we got to go to Kenny Reggett's place. I'll get some of my, there's only a few left that I really respect in the world of sports. There's about 5 of us. Maybe we'll get together with you. And I talked to all of them, and they all know who you are. So you are the legend. So, all right, you like Brandon Grace.
Brandon Grace and Morikawa.
Okay, maybe I'll put $20 on both. Win or lose, we'll talk Monday after I have Jerry Dulac on to give us, to critique the tournament. What's coming up next? Don't we have a horse race in early June?
Yeah, Belmont, June 5th.
Okay, we'll talk then.
So I'll try to see if I can get some horses for you on Monday.
Okay. Well, bring 1 or 2 to Wheeling, and I'll ride 1 home. Whatever. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. I guess, what's his name? Buffet? He's not allowed in the Belmont, is he?
I haven't heard any decisions yet, but it should be interesting to see what comes up.
Yeah. I called him Mr. Slick a couple years ago. I appreciate the fact that he's a winner, but, I just leave it at that. All right. It's always about him. It should be about his horses, his trainers, his riders, but that's okay. The guy's a billionaire. I understand how he made his money, but the Belmont's coming up. Where's that, New York?
Elmira, New York.
I've been to Elmira. Yeah. Okay, nice little town. Wouldn't want to live there, but that's okay. Everybody's a Yankees fan there. That's okay. But all right, we'll talk soon, okay? And we'll compare notes Monday with Mr. PGA, Jerry Dulac.
I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. Let's see, $20? Yeah, I might win. I can't go wrong. What do you think, Lola? I have a chance?
Yeah. I have no idea.
Well, if I win it, there'll be some food for you down the road. I always like to share things with you. We got a couple of minutes. Let me go over the sports scene. All right, today, by the way, you're going to hear a lot of Chuck Berry because it's Maybelline Day. You don't have to put 2 and 2 together to understand what that means. Has nothing to do with face makeup, but it does have to do with the makeup of the pop music charts in the mid-'50s. If any of you are old enough to remember the mid-'50s and '60s, with the dawn of rock and roll upon us, Chuck Berry started his climb to stardom. He was born in San Jose, California, raised in St. Louis, Missouri, introduced to a record executive called Leonard Chess. Not like chess, plain chess. Chess Records in Chicago was very, very popular with people of, if you like the blues or jazz, Muddy Waters, Lola's eyes, remember? She knows all about Muddy Waters. But on this date in 1955, he went into a recording session, a small building like Motown. It was the Chess Studios, and he performed a version of Ida Red. What came out of that hot session was Ida Red's new name, Chuck Berry's first hit, Maybelline. It topped the R&B charts at number 1, the rock and roll charts at number 4. Hey, Maybelline, can't you be true? I better not say. I'll put Lola in a bad mood. How about the Pirates coming back? They were down to the mighty Atlanta Braves. 2 of their players are hitting more home runs combined than the entire Pirates team. But their home run hitters spent a lot of time striking out. I think one of them struck out 4 times last night. In 10 innings, it was the Pirates coming back to beat the Atlanta Braves, okay? 6-4. Kevin Newman drove in the breaking run. How about Adam Frazier? I think now, including American League hitters, he leads all hitters. He went 4 for 5 last night. That means one thing. He'll be traded. by the end of the year. I hope not, but he's getting up there with age, and a lot of teams need hitters. And if the price is right, this sounds like a game show, let's make a deal, okay, with Ben Sherrington to give up somebody like Adam Frazier. You better have some good prospects, all right, or else Ben won't play. Let's make a deal. Bucks visit the Braves tonight. 2 Andersons on the mound. No, not at the same time. Tyler Anderson for Pittsburgh, Ian Anderson for the Atlanta Braves, okay? And if you missed the Penguins game, try and check it out. There's so many ways you can replay a lot of the plays, the fights, a lot of fights. I thought it was audition for WWE, okay? Or audition for somebody to fight Mr. Creed and Rocky. It was a wild one in New York. The Penguins finally winning by the score of 5-4. Brandon Tanev scored the game winner. Jeff Carter, what a trade made by Ronnie Hextall. You remember Ronnie and Jeff worked together in Philadelphia. Jeff told Carter a couple of months ago, I don't want to be traded anywhere. Well, he got a phone call. I just learned about this week. He got a phone call from Hextall saying, I'd like to trade for you. Would you like to come to Pittsburgh, close out your career with playing in the playoffs and maybe earning a third Stanley Cup ring? The deal was made. What a deal that is. Jeff Carter, 2 goals. He has 3 already in the playoffs. Tomorrow, must win for the Islanders. They don't want to go back to Pittsburgh down 3-1. So I expect more fights. Yeah, I like fights, as long as I'm not involved, okay? All right, that's an update on sports. Oh, by the way, for those of you looking for things to do Saturday, and Butch will probably talk about it too, if you like to swim, Wheeling Park will officially open Saturday at 11 o'clock. Yeah, good times rolling up at Wheeling Park. Nice swimming too, by the way, swimming pool. I used to take the kids there. All right, we'll be back with another segment after we take a break. Ray Fittipaldo will disagree or agree with me on the depth chart of the Pittsburgh Steelers for 2021. A Steeler insider coming up along with Bill DeFabio on this side of the glass. On the other side of the glass, Miss Miller. We'll be right back.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. State police have arrested a Wayne County man for an early morning fire in Lincoln County. Troopers took 29-year-old William Lusher of Canova into custody not long after the blaze was noticed in the Harts Creek area. The fire destroyed an abandoned house and also burned a vacant storefront and an active church in the area, but nobody was injured. In Taylor County, a Barber County man drowned while swimming near the Pleasant Creek Wildlife Management Area. Natural Resources Police Captain Steve Antolini says they recovered the body of 48-year-old Robert Thompson of Philippi not far from where he went under.
He was pretty close where they thought it was. It didn't take him that long. I don't know the exact time frame, but it was within a few hours.
Investigators say that he was there with his wife and mother-in-law and decided to go swimming, although swimming is not allowed in that area. Days after his team captured the national championship in men's soccer, Marshall coach Chris Grassi may be cashing in. Marshall Board of Governors calling an emergency meeting for 2:30 this afternoon. They're expected to vote on a new contract for the championship coach. The 130th Airlift Wing of the West Virginia Air Guard ready to begin its conversion from the C-130H model to the C-130J. Colonel Patrick Chard says it's entirely new technology.
Completely different aircraft. You're going from essentially an analog type aircraft to really a flying computer. And the training for our air crew and our maintenance personnel is very substantial.
Secretary of the Air Force this week gave final approval to the plan. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. You might have felt it, but it's doubtful. There was an earthquake this morning situated about 18 miles northwest of Huntington. Epicenter of the 2.5 magnitude quake was in Lawrence County, Ohio. Happened just about 1 o'clock this morning, and it was 12 miles deep in the earth. Scientists say it's unlikely you felt it, but it could cause delicate objects to swing to and fro. Crank up the AC. Weather forecast calling for sunny and hot conditions for the next 7 to 10 days in West Virginia. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
With all of the stress and distractions of the last year, you may have neglected going to the dentist. Well, now is the time to make an appointment because delaying dental care can be detrimental for your oral health and your overall health. Dentists have always practiced stringent infection control standards, and over the last year, they've taken additional new precautions to ensure dental patients are protected. When you make your appointment, ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association, so you know that you are being treated by the very best. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care. These ODA member dentists are bound by the highest ethical standards and have access to superior ongoing education, training, and resources. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need. Like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back. Or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back. Or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. When you join Brad Leonard and me weekday mornings from 7 to 10 for the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll have all the top stories of the day. We'll go behind the scenes with some informative guests giving you some interesting information. And, of course, some off-the-wall, off-the-beaten-path kind of issues and stories that you may not hear in the top headlines. Plus, your news, your sports, your weather. Zach Petty, Bill DeFabio, Tony Caridi. We're just your morning breakfast club, getting together and chewing the fat. Hope you'll join us weekday, 7 to 10. The Watchdog Morning Show, right here.
Maybelline, why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline, why can't you be true? You done started doing the things you used to do. As I was motivating over the hill, I saw Maybelline in a coupe de ville. Cadillac rolling on an open road, nothing out to run my V8 Cadillac doing about 95, moves bumper to bumper, rolling side to side. Maybelline, why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline, why can't you be true? You done started back doing the things you used to do. A Cadillac pulled up to 104, before got hot and wouldn't do no more. Gun got a cloud and started to rain. I tooted my horn for the passing lane. The rainwater blowing all under my hood. I knew that was doing my motor good. Maybelline, why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline, why can't you be true?
Not only do I like to look back on many sporting events that I cover, also a lot of rock and roll events. So you want to stay tuned to when I have Butch on at 1:35. I'm going to tell him an interesting story about... Hello? Ray, what are you doing? What are you doing, moving furniture?
No,
Man.
I'm walking back inside. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. 1:35 with Butch, I'll share my story with Chuck Berry when he appeared at the Washington County Fairgrounds. 6,000 people went absolutely berserk for what he did. So that's a tease. By the way, I understand I don't usually miss anything. Did a New York Yankee pitch a no-hitter? Did I miss something?
One Corey Kluber did, but it seems like no-hitters are happening, once every other day now, so I don't know how special it is.
Yeah, I wish he was still with the Cleveland Indians, but he's a good pitcher, you know what? And the Yankees, I think Brian Cashman was afraid that, shall we take a chance on this guy? He's pushing, 36? He's been a consistent pitcher, couple Cy Youngs, whatever, MVPs, whatever, good pitcher, and boy, he delivered the goods, I guess, I don't know how I missed that. It involved the Yankees. Yeah, I'm just having fun. Does your kid have a Corey Kluber rookie card?
He might. He's got a ton of baseball cards. I'll have to go home and check. But
Yeah, all right. If he does, tell him I'll give him a nickel for Kluber's card, okay?
All right.
Hey, hold on to some of those cards. Even cards from the 80s are worth money, you know?
Oh, I know.
And I got
They're
a lot of
coming back.
packs that haven't been opened from the 80s. So maybe they're worth something.
Well, keep them that way.
Yeah, I will. And I got some I got Michael Jordan in a minor league baseball uniform. So maybe that'll be worth money. I got to get rid of all this stuff. Already. By the way, I got to tell you this. You know I have, what is it? How many shares with the Celtics? 5? I have 3 shares with the Packers, okay? I'm a stockholder. So I always read all the rags in Milwaukee, try and listen to some of the talk shows. There are more talk shows in Milwaukee than people. You know there's only 106,000 residents in Green Bay? Did you ever know that?
Well, I know it's a small town, and actually this year will be the first year I ever get to go to Lambeau, so I'm really looking forward to it. But, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, and I think they did this in recent years as well, not too recently, but they would actually play games in Milwaukee as well because they weren't a big enough market.
That's right. They would play half of the
to
games.
support that team. Yeah.
They would play half of the games in Milwaukee and then the other half in Green Bay. And as a kid, I'm saying, what's wrong with that? Well, then I realized when you talk about capacity crowds at Milwaukee, and it was the old baseball stadium, all right? Think of Forbes Field with a goalpost. I saw the Steelers play the Bears in '63 in Forbes Field, and it was really strange, you know? I kept thinking Bill Mazeroski's going to come out and play quarterback. But you know what? Milwaukee Stadium was old, and I think the goalpost left to right, third base to first base. I just, where do you sit? Anyhow, I'm catching up on the Packers, and now most of the fans are really upset with Aaron Rodgers. So I think he better get traded or whatever, retire, and become a lifetime host on Jeopardy. But do you think, I'm just thinking ahead, if I'm other teams like the Houston Texans, who probably will need a quarterback, would you think 3 draft choices would be involved in a trade for Aaron Rodgers? I think that's one too many number 1 draft picks.
Well, I mean, I've heard speculation that he could be had for even less. I think it's crazy. I think he's even at his age now. What is he? 37 years old.
Yeah.
That he could probably still play at a high level for another 3-4 years if he wanted to. So I don't know. I would give up a couple of first for him. I don't know if I would give up more than 2, but I definitely think he would be worth that. You put him on a team like the Broncos or
how about the Raiders? How about the Raiders?
How about the Raiders? How about the Redskins?
Oh, yeah.
The Redskins have.
Yeah.
I mean, he can go on a lot of teams and make them instant Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, well, yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Lola mentioned to me that she wants to see Aaron Rodgers out of the division because, they play the Detroit Lions a couple times. So, yeah, I'd like to see him I'd like to see him come over to the AFC. So, yeah, well, the Redskins, I think he'd be great as Las Vegas. I still think they're in Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders. But, whatever. But I think they ought to do something real soon. I'm getting tired of reading or hearing about what is Aaron Rodgers' next move. You know what I mean? And I guess it's about him,
Well, we still got how many months till training camp? I don't think this is going to be resolved before training camp begins. I think they'll let this drag on throughout the summer, and then obviously both parties got to make a decision by then, right? But I still think there's going to be a lot of uncertainty there until late July, early August.
You think it's about money?
Yeah, he feels like he's disrespected. They don't give him enough weapons. But yeah, it always comes back to money, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. But he's like a number of guys. Brett Favre looked weird in a uniform, not Green Bay. You know what I mean? And I grew up when, nobody from the Packers would leave. Number 15 was always Bart Starr. 31 was always Jimmy Taylor. 66, the mean one, Ray Nitschke. You know what? But back then, you didn't have free agency, and you really didn't have a whole lot of freedom, Just think if there was free agency in the 70s. How many of the great Steelers would still be wearing black and gold back then?
I know. I mean, you mentioned all those great players. How about Johnny Unitas in a San Diego Chargers uniform?
Yeah. Joe Namath. He was in what uniform was he in?
He was with the Rams.
Rams, yeah. He looked strange with that Rams helmet.
Franco in Seattle, right? I mean,
Franco who? I have that comment from Chuck Noll. I kept that.
Did you
People
really?
thought it was me asking him about that. I can't take credit for that. It goes to one John Clayton because he was next to me. Yeah, we asked him about Franco wearing a different uniform, whatever, and he said, Franco who? And we're thinking, did Chuck Noll just say that? Yeah. About 1,500 eyeballs went, huh?
Yeah, I think he regretted that.
Yeah, Rod Woodson in a different uniform, right?
About 4 different uniforms, right? He was a Ravens. He was.
Hold on, Ray.
49ers.
49ers. Steelers. What was the other one?
Was he Oakland too?
Yeah, that's it. Yep,
Yeah.
He was a Raven.
So.
And you know, when he left Pittsburgh, before he left Pittsburgh, he had a pretty good bar. Remember?
I remember that. It was across from the T station in the South Side.
Unfortunately for him, he put his brother in charge, and his brother had no knowledge of running a restaurant. And the day he left, they should have just closed the doors because the business went. So, hey, I was talking to Steve Blass about Froggies. Remember Froggies?
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh man, what a place! What a place! I used to do a talk show there, and I loved doing it. So because Froggy knew all the celebrities, and he'd bring them in. He says, "You want this guy for a guest? Oh yeah. The visiting guys, you want this guy for a guest? Yeah. Okay. It's going to be torn down. There'll be a parking lot there. Okay. Let's get down. I'll tell you what. Want to take a break, Lola? We're going to take a break. You want to take a break, Lola? Okay. And we'll be back. We'll talk about the depth chart. We'll compare some notes. How about that, Ray?
Sounds good, Bill.
And I think we'll agree on this. The Steelers don't need any more new coaches. How's that?
I would agree with that.
And I think Mike Tomlin's job is safe. There we go. We're 2 for 2. We'll be right back with one of my Steeler insiders who I like to abuse, especially since his kid likes the Yankees. And that's Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. When you join Brad Leonard and me weekday mornings from 7:10 for the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll have all the top stories of the day. We'll go behind the scenes with some informative guests giving you some interesting information. And, of course, some off-the-wall, off-the-beaten-path kind of issues and stories that you may not hear in the top headlines. Plus, your news, your sports, your weather. Zach Petty, Bill DeFabio, Tony Caridi. We're just your morning breakfast club, getting together and chewing the fat. Hope you'll join us weekday, 7 to 10. The Watchdog Morning Show. Right.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings are a mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Every weeknight at 6 p.m., join the voice of the Mountaineers, Tony Caridi, on The Watchdog. Tony informs and entertains WVU fans with the latest Mountaineer sports news. If it happens in the world of gold and blue, Tony knows about it and shares it with you. Sportsline, weeknights at 6 on The Watchdog.
Long distance information, give me Memphis, Tennessee. Help me find the party, trying to get in touch with me. She could not leave her number, but I know who placed the call. 'Cause my uncle took the message and he wrote it on the wall. Help me information, get in touch with my Marie. She's the only one who'd phone me here from Memphis, Tennessee.
Right now we're talking football. Can't wait, 105. I shared some notes with Grover last night after the game. I think we spent about a half hour on the phone. That period number 3 was just unbelievable. Did you watch the hockey game last night, Ray?
No, my kid had a Little League baseball game, and I was unfortunately in the concession stand, but I was following it on social media. It was quite a win.
Yeah, we had to do that when I supported about 3 or 4 teams in Washington baseball. It's good to get the parents involved, as long as they keep their mouths shut during a game, because, my kids all going to the major leagues. I hear that all the time. But are you a good parent? I mean, if your little one strikes out 3 times, you're not going to give him hell, are you?
No, I don't yell at him. I just make him walk home, that's all.
How far do you live from the field? That's good. That's good stuff. Okay, let's compare some notes, right? All right, tell me. I'll say good. You say all right, Bill, or not, okay? Wide receivers, they're pretty good on the depth chart, right?
Yeah, I mean, with all the established guys they have, Bill, Juju Smith-Schuster being the old man of the group, and he's still young. Chase Claypool coming on.
Yep.
I think that's a really, really solid position for the Steelers.
And I'm happy with the tight end position.
I think it's getting better. Freiermuth obviously has to come on and have a role as a rookie. Obviously, if he does that, I think that'll be solid as well. But still a little bit of uncertainty there for me because I didn't think Eric Ebron was very good as a blocker last year.
And I think they're okay at the quarterback position. By the way, I hope you didn't see it. Somebody told me about it, and I checked it out. I guess Ben got a nice haircut, and he put it on Facebook. Did you see it?
Well, unfortunately, I did see it. I have no reason why it would be posted, but I guess good for him. I don't know.
Maybe he pays $200 for a haircut. I don't know. I have no idea. That'd be one of the last things I would do, whether I was a celebrity or whatever. Who wants to see my haircut?
That's my budget for the entire year for haircuts, $200.
Is that right? Well, I go to a he's like a doctor. I go to a guy down the street, and I think I'm in the chair 3 minutes. A little bit longer now because he trims my beard, okay? All right, let's go with defensive line, okay? We good?
Yeah, I think Tyson Alulu coming back really solidifies that. So I think, that's a solid group as well.
Secondary, needs some help.
Yeah, I mean, you lose Steven Nelson, you lose Mike Hilton. There's just a lot of question marks around that group. The good news is they got Minka Fitzpatrick and Joe Hayden. Those are 2 solid guys to build around, but they need some other guys to step up.
By the way, is Nelson signed with another team? I haven't seen or heard anything.
I have not heard him being signed yet, so I think he's still out there.
Okay, how about special teams? You happy with the special teams play, kickoff return, whatever, and kickers?
Yeah, I think Chris Boswell is obviously very good. I think he's one of the top 10 kickers in the NFL.
Ooh.
They drafted this punter. I think this punter is probably going to supplant Jordan Berry, so we'll see where that goes. Ray McLeod, their punt and kick returner last year, I thought he had a good start, not such a great finish. We'll see if they keep him in that role or maybe somebody else steps in. But, I think that's a pretty good group as well.
I've been reading a lot about Najee Harris maybe doing some catching, pass receiving. What do you think?
That's part of the reason they drafted him in the first round. I mean, you look at all the very good running backs in the NFL right now who didn't get drafted in the first round. One of the reasons is they didn't demonstrate in colleges they could be pass receivers in the NFL. Guys like Derrick Henry who waited until the second round to hear his name called. So when you can run the football like Najee Harris does, and you can catch it out of the backfield like he does, that just adds an awful lot of value, when it comes to GMs trying to build their football team. So that's why they got him. They're going to utilize it. And don't be surprised at all, Bill, when they line up for preseason games or regular season games in, September, October, you could see him split out as a receiver. You could see him in the slot. And, of course, you're going to see him in the backfield catching passes as well. He's very good at it.
I mentioned that you don't have a problem with coaches. Will Ben have a problem with a guy who likes to run the ball, Matt Canada?
Ben should embrace that, don't you think? I mean,
I would. But
yeah, I think it just makes you a better offense overall. When teams can sort of key in on what you're doing, the way the Steelers, the way opposing defense is keyed in on what they were doing last year when there was zero threat of a run and they knew the ball was going to be out quick, and they just jumped on all those short routes. So you have a running game. I think you keep teams on their heels a little bit. I think you can make it harder on them. I think by extension, that's going to make Ben better as well. Don't get me wrong; they're not going to turn into like the 1978 Steelers and
No.
Run the ball more than they pass the ball. That's not the way the NFL is now. But they most certainly can run the ball more, and they have to run the ball more because that's really what was missing from that offense last year.
You know, for the first couple of Super Bowls, Chuck Noll, running game with Franco and Rocky Blyer, you hardly heard of Stallworth or Swan. That changed like in the late 70s. Can you imagine today's offense, the numbers that Swan and Stallworth would be putting up? And Bradshaw.
It's amazing. I mean, you look at the difference between Super Bowl 9 and Super Bowl 10, what they scored 16 points, and then they scored 21 points.
Yep.
And they were trailing for a lot of Super Bowl 10. People forget that.
Yes, they were.
And then, 35-31 against the Cowboys, 31-19.
Against the Rams,
you're talking about half of their careers they spent in basically running offenses where they just weren't utilized the way they could have been utilized. So they're both in the Hall of Fame, as they should be, but their numbers would be so much better if they, if they came into the league, say, 1978, after the rules were changed, the Mel Blount rule, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Their numbers would be so much better than they are.
And I think there were like 26 games in the 70s where Bradshaw threw for less than 20 times a game. Think about that.
Yeah.
He didn't have to, really, when you think about it. Yep. Those guys' numbers would be sky high. They'd be like all-time greats, God, you'll never catch as many passes as Swanee did with today's game. Whatever. Yeah, they're in the Hall of Fame, everybody we mentioned, too, so.
Hey, and don't forget early on in Ben Roethlisberger's career when they had that great defense and they had that great running game.
Yep.
How many times was Ben 13 for 20 for 190 yards?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way they won. It was just, if you have a great defense and you have a running game, you could afford to play that way. Now it's different now, after 2010, I mean, it seems like everything is just pass, but it wasn't too long ago that you could still play that way and have a lot of success.
Yeah. Okay. Prediction time. Since I work for a number of venues, I can always change my numbers, Here's what I have here on this venue. No injuries, 9-8. Key injuries, 7-10. What do you think?
Injuries are going to be a part of it no matter what. I think 9-8 or 8-9 is right about where they're going to be. It's just a really tough schedule, Bill. I think you're accurate there. I think, barring Ben getting hurt, I think they'll be right around there. They'll be in the playoff chase. I don't know if that's 8-9 is going to get it done, but I think 9-8 will be pretty close.
And I think we're going to see a quality Ben Roethlisberger because, last year, no really off season. He didn't touch the football for months. Now he's, as far as strength is concerned, he said he feels better, but, even if he didn't feel better, he wouldn't tell us. But I think we're going to get a better than average Ben Roethlisberger, but he's got to stay off his butt. He can't be on his back. That line's got to protect him or else he's in trouble and the team's in trouble.
Absolutely agree. They've protected him well in the past, but as you know, Bill, they got a lot of new faces there. Pouncey moved on. Al Villanueva moved on. So there's going to be a lot of younger guys stepping into key roles, and they got to sort of live up to those guys who protected him so well in the past.
When's practice start? OTAs or whatever? Soon, right?
OTAs starting Tuesday. They'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, and then they'll repeat that for about 3 weeks until the mandatory minicamp. So, yeah, things are starting to heat up for the Steelers. A lot more news.
Will we have to watch the practice from the balcony at the fields?
That's where we'll do it. That is correct.
No locker rooms, right?
No locker rooms, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, hopefully that changes for us, the media for the fall. Who knows what's going to happen. So, but, there'll be people in the stands, so it'll be loud and hopefully be like the good old days, although the good old days, even of a couple years ago, will never be the same. All right, I think we covered all bases. We have no problems with the coaches, right? Yeah.
Not for me, Bill.
I don't.
Not for me.
So we agree on almost everything. But I wanted to ask you about Steven Nelson because I'm thinking he's a quality guy. Somebody should be picking him up. Of course, it comes down to money. But
and that's the thing, Bill. If you can hold out until July or August, and a team has a key injury during training camp for the preseason, I think his price will go up too. So maybe that's what he's thinking as well.
Oh, yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Yeah, I looked at that schedule again last night, preparing for, this show, and I'm thinking, that's got to be. And I think you mentioned it. It's the toughest schedule in the league?
It is. It is the toughest schedule in the league. I don't know exactly the number, but I think their opponents' records last year, it was close to like 59 or 60% winning percentage. So.
Okay. Well, when the Lions are in town, I know of somebody that's going to be rooting for them, and that's Lola. Lola, they're in town for the exhibition game and regular season, right?
I don't know about the exhibition. I know they are for the regular season.
All right. And they also.
Bill, the pressure's on. You got to get her tickets.
I can't hear you. Something happened to my headsets. Hello, Ray. Are you there?
Still here, Bill.
Oh, okay. What did you say?
I said the pressure's on. You got to get Lola tickets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try. I'm no longer season ticket holder, after 24 years.
Well, if you don't get her tickets, I'll see if she can sit next to me in the press box. How's that?
Oh,
Ooh, sweet, Ray. Thank you.
And you have to send her in the Steeler locker room for interviews. How's that?
There you go.
No, okay. It ought to be an interesting season. Hopefully we'll have a full season. Capacity crowds at every stadium. And you know what, Aaron Rodgers, do something real soon. I'm sick and tired of seeing you. We'll be right back.
Love is you. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine. I chew my nails and I twiddle my thumb. I'm real nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1 W251CY, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7 W249DU, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. getting closer to the goal outlined by the Biden administration to get 70% of adults vaccinated with at least one dose by July 4th. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky at today's COVID-19 response team briefing.
As more and more people roll up their sleeves and get vaccinated, the number of cases and the level of community risk is decreasing. I want to thank everyone who has done their part to bring us where we are today, with more than 60% of Americans 18 and older having received at least one dose.
Those shots in the arms are garnering some other attention too, advisor Andy Slavitt.
According to one of the sites, OkCupid, people who display their vaccination status are 14% more likely to get a match. We have finally found the one thing that makes us all more attractive.
President Biden welcoming South Korea's president this hour for meetings. The first, though, the president will hold a ceremony and award his first Medal of Honor to 94-year-old retired Colonel Ralph Puckett Jr. for acts of bravery during the Korean War. It comes a day after the president commended Israel and Hamas for agreeing to a ceasefire after 11 days of fighting. At least 230 Palestinians died during Israeli airstrikes. A dozen Israelis were killed from Hamas-fired rockets from Gaza. Apple's top executive on the witness stand in a federal trial in Northern California today.
Apple CEO Tim Cook arriving at federal court in Oakland, where he's under oath and testifying in a fight between Apple and Epic Games. Epic claims Apple has an illegal monopoly in its App Store. Cook has never testified as a witness in a trial involving Apple before. Now he's under hours of questioning from Apple's attorneys and cross-examination from Epic involving one of Apple's most powerful assets. Alex Stone, ABC News.
You're listening to ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Battle lines now between the state of Texas and its largest city and county, the dispute stretching back to 2017 and a devastating storm.
Of the $125 billion damage done by Hurricane Harvey, the majority was recorded in and around Houston. Now the Texas General Land Office is distributing $1 billion federal dollars for flood mitigation related to that storm.
The smallest cities in Harris County will get a federal allocation, but not Harris County proper and not the city of Houston.
Harris County Commissioner Adrian Garcia.
This is political, folks.
The state of Texas insists that it isn't, that the city and county grant applications had technical errors. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Yoga can now again be taught in Alabama public schools after a nearly 30-year ban over its ties to Buddhism and Hinduism.
In a concession with the state's religious conservatives, many of the hallmarks of the practice will still be banned. Teachers can't say namaste to students. Students can't chant, use the sound om as a mantra, and Sanskrit names for poses cannot be used. And if someone slips, the lawmaker who wrote the bill says there won't be any yoga police on patrol for wayward oms. Dave Packer, ABC News.
The Tokyo Olympics will open in July, even if the city and parts of Japan are under a coronavirus emergency. That declaration today from the International Olympics executive who says the World Health Organization assures that they'll be safe. This is ABC News.
At CDW, we get the people who need to sign here aren't always here.
Tell me about it. I'm always chasing down signatures. I go through pens and shoes like chewing gum.
Sounds like you need Adobe Sign orchestrated by CDW to securely automate e-signatures and workflows across devices from anywhere. Integrating with existing tools, Sign can save your organization time, money, and miles.
Thank goodness. I can finally take these shoes off.
No. Back on. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Adobe Sign.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is ONN. On the Ohio News Network, I'm Daniel Barnett. An Independence Day tradition in Columbus is being pushed back once again. Tracy Townsend with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus reports.
Red, White, and Boom won't be happening on July 2nd this year. Organizers say the city won't be able to give them the proper permits in time. But they do say they're hoping for an event sometime in late summer or perhaps early fall. Mayor Andrew Ginther said while Franklin County does remain red on that risk map, a huge event like this would not make good sense. But he does continue to say he looks forward to working with organizers to bring Red, White, and Boom back bigger and better than ever next year. I'm Tracy Townsend.
And a multi-county chase ended in a crash near Columbus early this morning. The Ohio State Highway Patrol reports a trooper attempted a traffic stop near Polaris Fashion Place in Delaware County, north of Columbus on I-71, that quickly transformed into a high-speed pursuit. The chase led authorities into Franklin County, where it ended with a crash on U.S. Route 23 on the north side of Columbus near the Ohio State University campus. The crash resulted in U.S. 23 being closed for at least an hour. Troopers say one person was taken into custody with undisclosed injuries, but no other details were immediately released. For a look at state news anytime, visit ONNradio.com. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Live and local talk is just around the corner. Stay right here on The Watchdog.
Are you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income? Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings are a mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Partly to mostly sunny skies, a daytime high near 88. Overnight low of 58 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Sunshine and clouds mixing for your Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
And we're back. We're going to go from football to hockey. You got your gloves on, Mr. Grover? We're going to go at it.
Hey, Bill, it's great to be on with you. No, I don't have my gloves on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you go barefisted and I'll keep my gloves on. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Hey, you know what I learned today? I always learn something on my own show, which is good. That means I don't know everything, and I don't want ever to know everything. But Martin's, guess who Martin is related to from the Islanders?
Matt Martin? I don't know.
It's Boomer Esiason's son-in-law.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You learned something today.
Yeah, and he's a big, as you know, he's a big Rangers fan, right?
Yeah. I get tired of him talking about the Rangers sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to check out his talk show, which is pretty good, but, you know. Yeah, I like him. You know, I liked him as a quarterback with the Bengals. He was always media friendly and told some great stories. But, yeah, I did. The legend, who's Mr. Oddsmaker, you know, he's well known around the Pittsburgh area, Bobby the Legend. He's been right on almost every prediction. He's working about 86% now. He was on talking about the PGA this weekend, and he said, you know what I know about Martin that you may not know, whatever. Martin of the Islanders, the big bad dude. Yeah, Boomer Esiason, sorry, Boomer, that's his son-in-law. How about that? Learn something every day. I'll tell you what, I've watched a lot of hockey, and I know you have too. Did you ever see anything like the third period last night between the Islanders and the Penguins?
Well, I mean, you've had playoff dust-ups before. I mean, none of them jumped to mind. Not recently, Bill. I've not seen one. I've seen. Look, there've been games in the past where there's a lot of this stuff going on after the whistle, and there's a lot of, extracurricular activity, as people like to say, throughout a game. It starts at the beginning, maybe it builds, but it happens. But I don't recall a game where things got nasty so quickly.
Yeah.
In one period. So it was, it was a little unique for sure.
Yeah. And I just, I'm going to watch the replay tonight after I watch the Bruins hopefully beat the Capitals. So, and you know I want the Bruins to play the Penguins. Go ahead, Jake Jekyll, whatever your name is. Give somebody a stick to the back. You won't do that with the Bees. Do I sound like I'm mad? Yeah. Okay. No. How about that series before we go back to the Penguins, the Capitals and the Bruins? That's been kind of feisty, too. You know, the Islanders and the Penguins don't get along. Likewise with the Caps and the Bruins. If the Bruins win at home ice tonight, do the Capitals come back down 3-1?
No, probably not.
Okay.
That's just, you just go based on the percentages in NHL history. You get down 3-1, you're cooked.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some teams survive it, but very, very few. So we'll see. The Caps are a good team. They play a heavy game. The Bruins play a physical game, and they've now set an NHL record for, I forget already, up to 12 games in a row now in the playoffs that have been decided by a single goal. More than half of them have went to overtime. So every game is incredibly tight. It's been very entertaining to watch that series for sure.
Yeah, I think I've watched everything that's available. I think I went to bed about 2 o'clock this morning. Get up at 4:30, do some freelance work. But I tell you what, I'm just having a great time watching all these games because I'm trying to become familiar with teams like, the Avalanche, the Blues. What did I watch last night? Hold on. I watched the ending of Gold Knights and with the Wild. I didn't realize Minnesota had a pretty good team.
Yeah, Minnesota's had a great year, but they're up against a really, really good team, and they had control of last night's game until it got away from them there. But they've made big strides, and I don't think they're going to win this series, but that's a team to look out for in the future. I mean, Kaprizov's just an amazing player to watch. He's a lot of fun.
I got to watch that Payne and you-know-what play for the Panthers, Patrick Hornquist. Man, I would hate to be a goaltender with him in front of me. But the Panthers came back. They were, down by a couple in the last period, and they win in overtime 6-5. So that series isn't over, but I still like Tampa Bay to take over.
Yeah, I would agree. And that was a huge win last night because, as you say, it's a 5-3 game going to the third.
Yep.
And, Tampa Bay's a defending champion. You just don't expect them to cough that lead up, but they did. And what was amazing to me was that Victor Hedman, who's, for me, the best defenseman in the National Hockey League, as for a lot of people, he had a miserable last 5 minutes of the game. He committed a turnover that ended up being a tying goal, and then they got behind him for the breakaway that ended the game in overtime. So you're not going to see that, and you're not going to see Vasilevsky give up 6 very often. No. But Florida's a very, very good team, and probably they're not going to win this series now that you can't get down 0-2 in a series like that, and they did. And I think that's going to come back to haunt them, but I'm hoping they can make it a series because that would be very entertaining.
Yep. I watched highlights of the Canadiens Maple Leafs. That was a pretty good game, 2-1, won by Montreal. But I still see that ugly situation with Tavares. Did you have a chance to see that video?
Yeah, I mean, it's an accident. It's very hard to watch. But I think he's out of the hospital today, and he's going to be out indefinitely. But he didn't get seriously hurt. And when you take a guy off on a stretcher from a hockey rink, you are immediately really, really concerned. And so I'm very happy for John Tavares and the Leafs that he's going to be okay. But I don't know when he's going to get back in the lineup. That's not the issue right now. It was unfortunate. Corey Perry. He's given and taken a few cheap shots over his career, but that was not. I mean, he knows John Tavares. They're personal friends.
Yep. Good buddies.
And he tried to get out of the way, and it just happened. So, glad to see that it's turned out okay.
My memory's fading a little bit, but I want to go back, 15 years, was it? Who was the goaltender that had, his throat sliced with a skate?
Malarchuk.
Yeah, that was ugly video.
Well, that was the scariest thing I've ever seen, and it was back longer than that, I think.
Okay.
That's the scariest thing I have ever seen. And I've seen it once, and I don't want to watch it again.
No.
But thank God he survived. And,
yes.
That's the thing that the trainers, the medical people that are, around the bench for every NHL team, they do amazing work. Because there's a guy there who literally saved a guy's life.
Yes.
That night.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right. We have a couple of minutes. I'm not a big Tanev fan. You know why? Because when he was at Providence, he beat my BU Terriers in a championship game. Sullivan should be mad because Sullivan's a BU guy. I remember that. He had the game-winning goal. Was it the finals?
Yeah, he won the championship.
Yeah, I still see him celebrating over my Terriers, but that's okay. He could play on my team any day. He's a tough guy. From what I understand, he's a real smart guy when it comes to hockey. He had the game winner. But how about that acquisition of Jeff Carter? Does that look like the steal of the century?
Well, right now it's the of all the moves that were made in and around the NHL trade deadline this year, no other team could say they've had a more meaningful acquisition than the Penguins getting Jeff Carter. He's been amazing in everything he's done. I got to be honest, he can't continue to score at this pace. I mean, he just can't. It's incredible what he's doing. But even if he cools off just a little bit, he'll still be contributing a lot.
Yeah.
So, he makes the Penguins a very tough team to match up for. Now you got Crosby and Malkin to deal with, and if you think you've got it all figured out how you're going to match up against them, here comes Carter.
Yeah.
And the way he's playing, you better pay a lot of attention to him.
Okay. If the Islanders lose tomorrow, is it going to be over for Game 5 in Pittsburgh?
Look, this is the Penguins fan in me, Bill. I will say this. When it comes to the New York Islanders and the playoffs, nothing is over till it's over.
You sound like Yogi Berra.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they've played them 5 times in the postseason. They've won 1 series, and they had to go to overtime of Game 6 to win that one, and they were clearly a better team in 2013. Anything can happen where the Islanders are involved, but I just said it's no different from Caps, Bruins. Yeah, if the Penguins get up 3-1, yeah, they should win the series. I picked them to win anyway, but yes, the answer is they should. But I'm just saying, don't count the Islanders out yet.
Okay. All right. I know you have a appointment coming up, so I want to thank you, and we'll talk next week. And hey, go get him, okay? And I'm glad you learned something about Mr. Martin, like I learned, okay?
No, all good, Bill. Thanks so much.
All right. It's all good when you're on. Thank you.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
we have another special guest coming up. I told him I would give him a couple of minutes to talk about his drive-through situation with COVID-19 and shots coming up tomorrow. The Reverend is down the hall. We're going to take a break, and he's going to walk in and give us an update on what's happening tomorrow in the city. If you haven't had the shot, it's a drive-through situation. Nobody's going to touch anybody, but you can get the shot, courtesy of Mr. Reverend Cummings. We'll be right back.
I'm Big Rick, host of Real Big Talk, weekday afternoons on the Watchdog. This show is about the now in our world. Breaking stories, local, statewide, national, and around the world discussed right here on the Watchdog. Join me, Lola, and other folks from the Valley as we discuss news as it happens. What is Real Big Talk? Well, it's an honest conversation that you can be a part of no matter which way you lean. Real Big Talk, weekdays on the Watchdog.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile, my curiosity running wild, cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go.
Boy, we're rocking in the studio. The Reverend's shaking his head. You like that Chuck Berry tune, don't you?
I'm very familiar with it. Very
yeah,
familiar,
okay.
yes.
All right.
Yes, I like Chuck Berry.
Yeah, yeah. Good performer.
Yes.
You know, when I
Now,
watched...
don't tell me you met him, too.
No, I introduced him.
Wow.
I was going to save this story for Butch.
Okay, well...
Okay.
That's okay.
I introduced him at the Washington County Fair.
Wow.
Came up with the $5,000 from the Washington Arts Festival, which I was in charge of. I got him for like $5,000.
Wow.
I don't know if I still have the contract.
Huh.
He was supposed to play
Did
for
he
an hour.
sign the contract?
I think
Or
so.
did
Yeah.
one of his agents?
One of his agents.
Okay.
But he was supposed to perform for 60 minutes.
Okay.
He leaves after 40 minutes. The crowd's blaming me.
Oh, Lord.
I get yelled at.
Oh, Lord.
And I brought him into town.
Okay.
And they
Did he
said,
come back or what?
No.
That was it.
And I talked to his agent. I said, you can't do this.
Right.
Chuck can do anything he wants. But he's got our money.
Yeah.
Whatever. Today it'd be a whole lot different.
Right.
You know, I'd be chasing him in a special limo. He wouldn't
Did
get
he
out
come
of
in a
Washington.
limo and everything?
Oh yeah. You knew somebody special was pulling up to the fairgrounds.
Wow.
You know where they have the demolition derby and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, I got a chance to introduce him and Three Dog Night there. So yeah.
Did he do that thing where it's like a duck walk? that
Yeah,
he does
oh, yeah,
with
yeah.
Playing his guitar.
Can
and
you
all?
believe I tried that?
Did you try it?
Not that night.
How'd you do?
You know, I tried it home in front
Did
of
you
the
do
mirror.
the last 20 minutes and you entertained the people?
No. I don't know what it was a couple of local, it might have been Pure Gold. Remember Pure Gold?
I don't know Pure Gold.
They used to be a big time, they did a lot of oldies.
Okay.
And they were in Pittsburgh, then they went to New York and they toured and now they're retired, I think.
Okay. All right.
But I'll never forget that night. I'm thinking, is he leaving? It's not an encore. I mean,
Yeah.
he's actually leaving.
Wow.
And people were coming up to me, calling me names, and I'm sorry, man, yeah. But yeah, we were entertained for 45 minutes or
Well,
40
that's
minutes,
good.
but you know.
That's good. Well, you still have
You know,
something
I
that
wrote the
rest of
song.
us
You
haven't
know,
had.
I wrote one of his songs.
No.
Ding-a-ling. I'm only kidding. You know.
Okay. All right.
You know why I played that song in college when I was a DJ from 12 to 2 at night?
Why?
Because it was a long song.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, I could smoke some cigarettes, drink some diet liquids, you know,
Sure,
during the long song. I played a lot of those long songs. In the God of the Vita was 9 minutes long. You know what I mean? All
I'm
right.
surprised y'all just didn't use tape, you know, to.
No, I wanted to
put
go
some-
live.
You wanted
I
to be
wanted,
live.
Yeah, I wanted to go live.
All
Yeah.
right.
Because I took phone calls and stuff.
That was
We were a 500-watt station in downtown Boston, a college station. Everybody could hear us.
Wow. So you've been doing this since college.
Oh, yeah.
You're a true professional.
I don't know about true. Yeah. I don't know about true, but you're a true guy when it comes to helping people.
Trying.
You have a couple of minutes to talk about what's going to
Absolutely.
happen
I'm
tomorrow at
honored.
11
I am-
o'clock. 11
I am
o'clock.
so honored. I'm so honored to be asked to be back, and you know everybody.
By the way,
always
put some
invite
money
you
in the
back.
box.
All right.
No. You already. By the way, you know I.
Yes, I
got-
heard you took care of Lola. Thank
Yeah.
you so very much.
It was like a meal for
Lola's
both of
like
us.
an angel to me, so I think very highly of her.
Okay. All right. Tell us about 11 o'clock tomorrow.
All right.
And the drive-through.
It's a drive-through, and it's my understanding we have not done that in our area, and this is a way for you to be in complete control of your environment. You control the music, you control who's in your car, and all you have to do is roll down your window. You'll give your information for them to fill out the paperwork for you. Then you'll move to the next part. This is all behind the Dream Center at 407 Main Street, and you'll be able to expose your arm, and they'll give you your shot. You even get to choose which shot you want. And if you have children, you wanted to be with your children, you are able to bring your children. All of you are able to get your shot at the same time. They'll have Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. If you have insurance, God bless you. If you don't have insurance, the state will pay for it. So either way.
And
it's
people
gonna
from
be
PA
free.
and Ohio can come in?
From Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, there is no residency requirement, no income requirement. All you have to do is say that you want your shot. If you already got your first shot, you like your second shot, come on and get your second shot. This is a very quick way. Then after you take your shot, you will have to sit in the parking lot for 15 minutes. The medical professionals will check on you, make sure that everything is all right. And then, all things being equal, you just drive off and continue with your day.
Okay, boy, that's kind of unique, right? I don't know if
It
anybody
has
else
not
doing
been done in this area. It is my understanding it's been done in other parts of the state, but not in our particular area. But we're honored to do it. And it's my understanding that we're one of the few that's doing it on a weekend. Everybody else is doing it during the week, but we're doing it during the weekend. And, you know, hopefully this is convenient for people, and we won't know until tomorrow whether or not we've wasted our time or whether or not there are some people who are in need. But if you are in need, please know that we would love to be able to help you with your shot. If you already got your shot, congratulations, and we pray everything works well for you. We're not shaming anybody that doesn't get their shot, but we just think it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Okay.
Can people walk up?
People can walk up. We prefer the car, but there will be a tent available for someone to walk up. Very good question.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. What if I don't have a car?
If you don't have a car, you can still
Just
come.
walk up.
Yes, just walk up.
Don't
Walk
forget
up.
to thank the National Guard.
Yes, and then National Guard, this is their third or fourth time that they've come and helped us. They helped us pass out food. They helped us with the testing on last year. They've already agreed to come back in June and help us. If this is successful on tomorrow and we help a few people, then they said they will come back in June and for those who need a second shot. So the National Guard has been wonderful, and I'm very grateful for our National Guard here in West Virginia.
Well, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
You owe me, right?
I owe you big time.
Well, it's a small favor.
All right.
When you do this again in June,
yes,
make sure you have a drive-through for shots of Fireball.
I'm
I'll
not
be
sure.
first in line. You know what a Fireball is?
I do not.
Remember the little fireballs when you were a kid? The
red balls that are hot.
There's the liquid
Yes.
now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, after a couple of little nips of that,
okay.
I fall in love with anybody that looks at me, you know?
Oh, no. I thought maybe you were going to say you would come and do your show live in the parking lot. People can be your live audience while
I
they're
don't
getting
think so. No, I don't think so. You got to have a shot of Fireball. Just one to try it.
All right. Yeah,
It's got that cinnamon flavor.
I don't think I've had one since I was a child.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just like it's a liquid form of what you had as a kid.
Right.
Okay,
right,
but it costs a little bit more.
Is that right?
Fireballs when I was a kid were like 2 cents, you know?
We used to get penny candy. You could fill your whole hand up with penny candy. Now, no
Licorice,
such thing as penny
bubble
candy.
gum, you
Right.
know, that's all gone.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
baseball
yeah.
cards, 5 cents a pack. You get 15 cards
Right.
and a stick of gum,
Right.
which would break in your mouth, but that's okay. You know,
They were very hard. There's
You
no
know.
question about it. Yeah.
bit of honey was like a nickel.
Oh, I
you know.
remember bit of honey.
Bonamo taffy, Turkish
Yes,
taffy.
yeah. I
lost 3 teeth on those.
Oh, no.
Oh
no.
yeah, I
Wow.
forgot to crack them. You know, I'm there.
Yeah, right. No,
You got to
no.
have a shot of Fireball. Come on.
I'll look into it. I'm not into real hot stuff.
Yeah, try
but
one
my
Sunday
wife
morning.
loves hot stuff.
Try a shot Sunday morning before you preach to the people, okay? You'll be the best preacher in the world.
I'm not going. I'd probably be the shortest one too.
Okay.
But
Well, good luck.
Thank you so very much. Again, this was very kind of you. Thank you for even.
Hey, we're
thinking
here
of
for
it.
you.
God bless you.
All right.
God bless you. God
Thank you,
bless
Reverend
both.
Cummings.
Thank you.
And thank you once again to the National Guard and all the people that will be there to greet you tomorrow. It's a great thing. Nobody touches anybody, okay? It's a real good thing. Families, whatever. If you're traveling and listen to the radio and, I'm going to be in Wheeling tomorrow, stop by. Get a shot, okay? It's all good, all good. And it's all good that we're going to come back and talk with Butch, okay? Butch of the M80s. He's also a producer, director of great shows. He's going to talk about his good friends, and talk about best-sounding soundtracks, okay? That's his assignment. My assignment right now, I got to leave and take a break because it's the bottom of the hour. Bill DeFabio behind this microphone and behind this window, Lola on the other side, smiling because she knows in a few hours she'll be going home too.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. President Biden has issued a disaster declaration for 4 West Virginia counties after severe storms February 27th through March 4th. Those caused major flooding in some areas, and the declaration will help some victims become eligible for federal assistance in the recovery. The declaration makes funds available to victims in Cabell, Kanawha, Mingo, and Wayne County. It's a declaration separate from the disaster declaration earlier this week for the same general area that was beset with an ice storm ahead of the flooding. U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito continues talking with the White House about infrastructure.
Capito, the leader of Republican senators' $568 billion infrastructure framework, she has been having multiple conversations with colleagues in the White House in the pursuit of reaching a bipartisan deal. The Biden administration has proposed a $2.3 trillion plan, Capito telling reporters on Thursday that both sides want to reach a deal.
Remember, the president says doing nothing is not an option for him. Well, I kind of like that attitude. I want to get things done.
President Joe Biden has set a Memorial Day deadline for making progress on a compromise. I'm Alex Thomas, WVMetroNews.com.
An Allentown, Pennsylvania man has been charged with an Easter Sunday crash on I-470 near Wheeling that claimed life. Philip Stahl, spokesman for the Wheeling Police Department, says 47-year-old Frankie Colin Furman was arrested and charged after his delivery truck struck a vehicle and then a semi in the Elm Grove area, claiming a woman's life. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. After 42 years, the chief of the Morgantown Fire Department is hanging up his bunker gear. Mark Caravassos is now retired, and this week tells Metro News affiliate WAJR it was a good feeling.
Life is different. Life is different. I will say that. There's a lot less weight on my shoulders.
He started as a dispatcher with the Morgantown Police Department in 1985, and at the time of his retirement was the longest-serving employee in the city of Morgantown. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Corey Connors navigated the gusting winds at the Ocean Course at Kiawah Island yesterday and was the day one leader at 5 under par. He had a 2-shot advantage over a group of 5 golfers that ended day number 1 at 3 under. Day 2 is underway today. The NASCAR Cup Series is in Austin, Texas this weekend for the Echo Park Texas Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas. The 230-mile race is set to be televised Sunday afternoon on FS1. Last night in the NBA play-in game, the Wizards beat the Pacers 142-115 to lock up the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. The final playoff spot is the 8th seed in the Western Conference. It's tonight, the Memphis Grizzlies at Golden State. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog.
Sorry to interrupt your jams, murder mystery podcasts, or motivational beach noises, but we got something else you might like to hear. It's called cash. That's the sound of an extra $250 after your first 10 deliveries with Uber Eats. That's right, an extra $250 on top of all the other cash you'll make during those first 10 deliveries. If that sounds good, visit t.uber.com/extra 250. Uber Eats, deliver with us. Limited time offer, terms apply. See t.uber.com/extra 250 for more details.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents Doug.
And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb. All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs. Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
What is Real Big Talk? Well, it's an honest conversation that you can be a part of no matter which way you lean. I'm Big Rick, your host of Real Big Talk, and I invite you to join me, Lola, and the rest of this community to discuss our world and the events that unfold daily. Be a part of the conversation at 304-214-1600. Real Big Talk, weekdays 2 to 5 on The Watchdog.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, there stood a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar just like a ringing a bell. Go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Johnny be good.
Great line in Back to the Future. You're going to really like this. Did you like that movie, Butch?
Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
mean,
loved it.
Yeah, who wouldn't like that movie? That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Very fun, very fun. I guess not a great movie, but a very fun movie.
That's a movie I could watch over and over again, you know?
Yeah, I could too.
Yeah. Lola reminded me that she got to see you the other day. What, at Towngate? Murder Mystery?
Yeah. You know, we did. It was called Murderers, not to be confused with the Murder Mystery Group. But this was a play on a stage and everything. It was called Murderers, and Lola came to see it on our final night. I was so pleased to see her there. We did sell out, so you know, theater's back in Wheeling, and we were live and unmasked. So it was a great time, and.
Was it filled to capacity? Or were there 6 feet between people, or how was that?
We were still socially distancing and still asking those who have not vaccinated to wear masks. Most people wore masks anyway in the audience. When I've been vaccinated, but I sat in the audience and wore a mask too. But the actors didn't have to wear masks, so that was what was great because there was only one actor on the stage at a time. And basically, it was an actor would come out in character and tell you a story about how he or she became a murderer, and these were all very unlikely people to be murderers, and they told stories, and in the course of the stories, they played other characters, you know, and stuff like that. So it was a very theatrical piece.
Okay, so you were pleased, right?
I was, yes, and I think what's important is the audience seemed to be pleased.
Yep,
so
well,
that's good.
Because they, you know, with social media and big mouths, that people spread the word. Hey, you got to check this out. You got to do this. You got to check this out. You know?
I've been busy this week, Bill. I had an M80. It was not really a show, but it was called a sound check on Wednesday night, and it was at the waterfront. Because Josh Blakemore wanted to test out his equipment. He hadn't used it in over a year. So he wanted to make sure everything was working right down there at the waterfront. So we went down and we played, we were there for about 3 hours, but we played about a good hour, I think, and had a really nice crowd down there. A lot of people came out just to see this little sound check event. So that was a lot of fun, too. And the events start up this coming week with the City of Wheeling events, so you want to check that out. I can tell you who's coming up this week is Taylor Joe and the Copper Creek Band. So that'll be on Wednesday, May 26th.
And where are they?
That's at the waterfront at Heritage Port.
Okay, all right.
So that's what's coming up this week, and then there'll be more stuff coming up. Both every Wednesday at the Heritage Port, plus on Tuesdays, alternating Tuesdays, there will be concerts at the Wheeling Park Amphitheater and at Garden Park in Warwood. So, I'll keep you up to date each week with what's happening and stuff like that.
Yeah, so. I don't want to steal your thunder, but I mentioned it earlier because I heard it on our news partners newscast. The swimming pool at Wheeling Park will officially open tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Oh, that's good. See, I did not know that, so that's really good.
Well, you know, we work together as a team here, so.
Yeah. I want to also mention that some of my other Mystery Theater is back too. We were scheduled to do a show tonight at the View, but we didn't have sufficient reservations, so we decided to wait until June to do a show down there. But we had a really nice show at River City last night, so that was good. So I'm glad to be back doing that stuff again too.
Yeah, I can't wait too, because every chance I get, I think I've seen 2 or 3 of your shows, and I haven't been disappointed. So.
Oh yeah, and this is the Western show, so this is Cowboys and Indians and stuff.
Hey, go ahead. Before we talk about soundtracks, go ahead.
Yeah, I do want to get to that, but first I just want to talk about a couple of my very good friends playing this weekend. I always mention the Muddle because they're very good at posting where they're playing.
Yes, they are.
And the Muddle is playing tonight at the Main Street Barrel House out in Barnesville, and tomorrow they're playing at the Alpha Tavern right in Wheeling. They're playing from 8:30 to 11:30, so that's the Alpha Tavern for the Muddle tomorrow night, and Main Street Barrel House at this evening, and that's out in Barnesville. Also, my very good friends Roger Horde and Kelly Jones will be playing out at the Black Sheep Winery tomorrow night, starting at 7:30. They're excellent. You're two of the best musicians around, bar none. And the Black Sheep is a great venue too. So that's all I have to promote from my very good friends right now. But I want to tell you about that.
Okay. You want to promote it from people that are not your good friends?
No,
we won't do
Heck
that.
with those people. No, actually, it's not.
I don't think you have any enemies out there, you know?
Well, I try not to, and I've said this the last few weeks too. If anybody wants me to mention when I talk to you on Fridays where you're playing, then please just get in touch with me. Send me a Facebook message or something. I'm happy
We'll
to
be
bring
happy.
it up.
If it's local and it's community, we do it.
Yeah, that's right.
We do it all for you, although that's not original. You know what I mean?
I know.
Okay. I asked you during the week about soundtracks. I think I could listen to it all day and night. The original Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and the Ecstasy of Gold, where Tuco's running around like he's a drunk in the cemetery looking for a name in the gold. It's one of my favorites, you know?
Yeah, the Enrico.
And I like the Hill Street Blues. I like that music.
Oh,
you know?
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, that was Mike Pope.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
he wrote a lot of TV theme songs back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Yep, it was a good time. Give me a couple of your favorites.
Obviously, I've got 10 that I just sort of listed off. And I'm obviously going to put both A Hard Day's Night and Help on there because I'm a huge Beatles fan, and, they're just great. But more traditional choices. American Graffiti is a great soundtrack. You got to love that. All the oldies on that one.
Oh, yeah, that was a double album, too, that I think I wore out.
Yeah, just all stuff from the 50s and early 60s. Yeah. How about Goodfellas? That had some great music in it.
Yes, that was on my list. Yeah, I could listen to that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really
the soundtrack, because they played a lot of oldies, A Bronx Tale with Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
Very good, very good.
I don't remember the music in that particularly, but I'll take your word for it. Another movie I liked a lot for its music was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, yeah, when they were singing together there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When I first saw that, I think I wet my pants. I said, that's unbelievable stuff. That's good stuff.
Great.
I went back and, I had to Google it a couple of times. Wow, that's good stuff.
It is a hilarious movie, too. If there's anybody out there who's never seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, you got to see this movie. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
On another end of the scale, Apocalypse Now has a great soundtrack, too.
Yes. Those war movies, even the one Full Metal Jacket, great soundtrack. What was the one in 1986? Oliver Stone. It won Academy Awards, or...
Born on the 4th of July.
Apocalypse Now.
No, not that one. No, this one. I just watched it the other night. 1986.
It'll come back to you in about 3 hours when you're off the air.
Yeah, that's true too.
But Apocalypse Now.
The actor was on 2.5 Men.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, it was Charlie Sheen.
Oh, okay.
He shoots the sergeant at the end. Oh, my God. It had like 11 stars.
Oh, okay. What, Platoon?
Platoon, thank you.
Platoon, okay. Yeah.
You're right. It would come back to me while I'm driving on 70 and it would start in traffic. It had great rock and roll tunes, too.
It did, yeah. Another one that's really great that you've probably seen is Pulp Fiction. That has a great soundtrack too.
I can watch that movie over and again.
Yeah. Actually, all the Tarantino movies have really good soundtracks. Kill Bill had a good one too, and but that one thing. So here's one I know you probably should be on your list too. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Just That's it's classical music, but really powerful stuff.
And the worst has to be Psycho's introduction.
Psycho's right. Although the guy who did the music for Hitchcock, I think his name was Edward Herman, really was a kind of an amazing soundtrack author. And I got one more too. Oh, I got two more. These are a bit more obscure. One, you've heard of this one, Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack. Terrible movie.
Terrible movie.
I mean, but you can watch the movie is good. Just watch the music performances. They're great. They're great. It's just the acting and everything else about the movie's not good. But it's worth it, just to watch those musical performances. And this one is one I imagine you've not heard of, but it's a musical one too. It's called The Velvet Goldmine.
Never heard of
and it's all about the kind of early 70s glam rock scene in London, sort of with the protagonist is kind of a David Bowie type, but the music is all from that era. Really good. You know how much I hate most music from the 70s? This the best music from the early 70s. So if you ever see Velvet Goldmine, I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime. So if there's anybody out there who likes it.
As a kid, I loved the intro to all the Tarzan movies. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, you got to listen to that. I know it's crazy.
Yeah. I just saw some of those on TV and stuff. Johnny Weissmuller actually came to Wheeling once. I got his autograph.
What did he do in Wheeling? Was he swimming in the river?
No, I think he went to Ogilvy Park and dove off the high dive. I think it was some publicity thing.
Wow.
I was
I learned that today.
Child.
Did he bring Jane with him?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even know who the heck he was, but my parents took me to see him. And stuff,
great Olympic swimmer.
Yeah.
I love those Tarzan movies. Just watching Jane climb the trees. Well, you know what I mean? Me Tarzan, you Jane.
You wanted to stand under her, or
No, I don't. No, come on. But when I hear that theme to the Psycho at the beginning, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
And even the shower scene. I know Lola doesn't like it, but I don't like it either. But Hitchcock got my attention.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
We're going page 2. Lola would be familiar with this, because I'm not. Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart were married on this date in 1945. Legend has it that the couple fell in love in 1943, Lola, during the making of the film To Have and Have Not. Was that a good film?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I just watched Casablanca last night.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
For the millionth time.
I know, but it never gets old.
Yeah.
It never
It's
gets
just
old.
so good, yeah.
There's let's see, the marriage would become one of Hollywood's most enduring marriages. So that means they were married for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I got to bring in the sports one. Joe DiMaggio on this date in 1947 fined $100, which was a lot of money back then. Also, 5 of his Yankee teammates were slapped with $100 fines because they have not fulfilled contract requirements to do promotional duties for the team. Okay. And a lot of times they didn't want to talk to the media. Of course, the New York media is a whole lot different than Pittsburgh and, St. Louis and that. All right, little Stevie Wonder on this date in 1963. In the city of Detroit, Lola's smiling. Little Stevie Wonder's Fingertips Part 2 was recorded live in a Motown studio in Detroit. All right, he was only 12 years old, and it jumped on the Billboard charts immediately, which was unbelievable back then. And then, of course, he was on Ed Sullivan, American Bandstand, and the rest is history. He had hit after hit after hit, and, I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan. Did you like him?
Stevie Wonder, sure, yeah.
Yeah. You have a favorite Stevie Wonder song?
I kind of like the early stuff, but some of the stuff in the 70s sounds better to me now than it did then. We would think, isn't she lovely? I just called to say I love you, stuff like that. It's a little bit sloshy, but he's an icon. I really like the '60s stuff when he was little Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, little Stevie Wonder. Yeah, you can't call him little anymore.
No, he's a big guy.
I think this guy was a blues musician. Lola, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm probably wrong. Fats Waller?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he played the piano and a songwriter. Okay.
I lost my thrill. On Blueberry Hill. I think that was one of his.
Yeah, okay. Ain't Misbehavin'?
Ain't Misbehavin'? Okay. And he
Ain't
wrote-
Misbehavin'?
Did he
Okay.
write that? Wow.
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know. It's a sin to tell a lie? Whatever. He was an actor in King of Burlesque. I think I missed that one. And Hooray for Love. Whatever. He was born on this date in 1904, passed away 1943.
And I'm sorry, I mixed him up with Fats Domino. It was, Fats Domino.
I didn't want to correct you, it's,
Yeah, but I'll correct myself.
You're allowed one mistake a month. Okay, this one's for Lola. Lola, I'll mention the name. You tell me what this individual was famous for. His real name was Francis Kane. The name we're familiar with, Harold Robbins.
He's an author.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an author.
Name some big-time books.
He wrote most of his books were like yay thick, and they were what I consider a beach read.
Oh. Carpetbaggers, was that
The
a beach read?
Carpetbaggers, Never Love a Stranger, The Adventurers, I think.
Okay. All right, this guy, I watched him the other night on Rear Window. If he was living, he died in 1993, born on this date in 1917, Raymond Burr. Ironside, I remember that. Rear Window, Place in the Sun, The Defense Never Rests, and I think his first appearance, 1963, made in Tokyo. He was on a stage in L.A. I don't know how they incorporated that on the screen as he's looking up at Godzilla. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was
Well, he was a big star at that point because he was in
was
the
he?
TV
Yeah, Rear Window.
show Perry Mason. Well, Rear Window, yeah, but he was on the TV show Perry Mason, and that was started, I think, in the late 50s. So.
Go ahead, Lola.
Well, he started out his career back in the probably
40s?
Early to mid 40s, and he always played an evil guy.
I hated Perry Mason because I had to watch him in order to watch, and then I was forced to watch Lawrence Welk and then studio wrestling. But then now, as I'm getting older, every time I have a chance to watch Perry Mason, I'm trying to come up with clues or, make sure the case is, well, yeah, they're going to do this, Same with The Fugitive. I know at the end they catch the one-armed bandit, but I never liked and watched The Fugitive, and now I'm watching it. And I could watch Rear Window, which was on one stage. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I do the behind-the-scenes thing, and that was one huge stage that they filmed that on. And, of course, it was Alfred Hitchcock. I could watch anything Hitchcock with, Jimmy Stewart was in it, so I liked that. But I remember Perry Mason. I think he was also in a movie called The Defense Never Rests. I don't know. Peggy Cass. Does that ring a bell? Peggy Cass?
She was on those panel shows when I was a kid a lot. I remember that,
And there was a family show that lasted 3 years. Most of the family were a group of monkeys. The Hathaways.
The Hathaways. The Hathaways.
Hathaways, whatever. Yeah. She was not Gidget, but she was in Gidget Goes Hawaii. Whatever. How many Gidget movies were there?
Too many.
Beach Blanket Bingos. How many? I remember Don Rickles was in one of those terrible beach movies.
Yeah, they were. But
did you like the A-Team?
Not really.
Dun. Did you like Mr. T with his haircut?
He was pretty weird. And then George Papard, he's kind of an old-time actor that brought some cred to that show. But it was a really silly show.
Okay. Mr. T, who I understand away from the set, was a really nice guy. Celebrating a birthday today. He's still living. How old is he, Lola?
Oh, he's got to be about 78.
Wow. Hold on.
Yeah.
2, 5, 69.
Yeah.
69. Okay.
I thought he'd be older. I got a Banachek story for you. You know the opening scene with Papard on a boat?
Mm-hmm.
He's canoeing or whatever in the Charles River. That's like a half a block from my dorm. But I never saw him doing that, so whatever. The A-Team, Mr. T, played in Rocky 3, I think.
Yeah, Rocky 3.
I'm surprised there isn't a Rocky 8 coming out. Isn't there like Rocky 7s or whatever? I don't know.
Well, now it's the Creed legacy, right?
Yeah.
So that's taken over the mantle from Rocky.
Yeah. Last but not least, Ronald Isley. Does that last name ring a bell? He's celebrating a birthday today.
Well, I assume he's one of the Isley brothers.
Yep, one of the younger ones.
Oh, okay.
They had the original, sorry Beatles, you stole it from them, Twist and Shout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So.
but the Beatles did it better.
Oh, yeah, much better. Yeah, if you listen to the Isleys brothers, yeah.
Yeah, that's twist and shout. Not
That
twist
was a
and
top
shout.
40
Let's
tune?
ask what Ferris Bueller would have chosen. you
Oh,
know?
yeah. Isn't that a
Yeah.
great scene?
It is, yeah.
When he's in downtown Chicago doing twist and shout and everybody's twisting and shouting.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let me see. You're going to like the 70s? You might. 1957, The King. Seems like he had a hit every week. All Shook Up.
Mm-hmm.
The man we're remembering today from Maybelline did a song called School Day, number 2.
School Day, okay.
Awful song at number 3. It soon became number 1. Love Letters in the Sand by Pat Boone. I didn't like Pat Boone or his daughter. You Light Up My Life. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
You should
pretty
like
bad.
65. Number 3 was Back in My Arms Again with the Supremes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Number 2 was Help Me Rhonda, Help Me Rhonda by the Beach Boys.
Yeah, that was at least it wasn't about cars and surfing. So,
And I'm going to give you one of these, A Ticket to Ride to Get Out of Here by the Beatles,
yeah,
number 1.
Yeah, great song.
Number 1, or let's go to number 3 in 1973, Frankenstein, the Edgar Winter Group.
You know, that wasn't bad. Instrumental song, kind of heavy, but it was good.
This may make you puke at number 2, Little Willie by Sweet.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was
Little
awful.
Willie,
Won't shut up. Yeah.
Oh. Number 1, You Are the Sunshine of My Life, but big Stevie Wonder, okay?
Yeah. And that was when I started
Real quick.
not care about it.
Real quick, 1981, Kim Carnes, Betty Davis Eyes.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, talk to you
okay.
next week.
Sounds good.
Be good, everybody. Be safe. Check on the elderly, please. Check on me once in a while. I need it. Big Rick is next. He's the host of The Big Rick Show. Have a good weekend.
Sweet little 16. She just got to have about $500,000.